DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, Monster Energy, and U.S. Navy.
And welcome back, everyone. It's time to jump into the grand finals here for DreamHack Open Anaheim 2020. And as you saw at the break, I know nothing about anything else that happens at DreamHack. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
There's like dryads and dwarves and elves. That's all I know.
Better you than me. I filmed that exact same thing, and mine was a lot like yours, except just
Maybe a little more critical?
A lot better.
Oh.
I thought that was going a different route, a whole different way.
No.
You want to host then? Let's switch. Here.
I was really...
No, you're better at this. Go ahead. Slide on over.
I was really hoping that they wouldn't use mine, to be honest, because I had no idea what I was looking at.
I will say I know more about Warcraft than I was putting on. I did play ladder matches, but that was like 12, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago.
I've never played, so...
I am dating myself so hard. Unfortunately, like I am not doing myself any sort of favors whatsoever. But we finally made it to the grand finals. Complexity is not playing like I expected. A little bit disappointing to not have a full NA final, but it is good to see FURIA playing here. Potter, we've seen them in this position before. Is it their time to shine?
I think so. Like I said yesterday, this is looking like a FURIA 2.0. We've got Vinny being very much involved within the unit. We've got Art finding a newfound success with less aggression than we've seen before in the past, a lot more calculated plays, and their prep coming into this event, you can clearly see it within the server. It's very calculated moves. The decision making, it is superb, and I've been impressed all weekend long.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with FURIA, right? They look a lot different than they looked towards the later half of 2019, where they just only had that aggressive style. They didn't have a second dimension to their game. When we watch them here, you know, we're constantly complementing their boost and their new innovative style that they bring to every map we've seen, actually. So this is definitely a refreshed version of FURIA.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We'll see how the action kind of shaped up and came together. First match, Gen.G versus North. Gen.G might look more one-sided when you see that 2-0, but it was 16-13, 16-14. North had ample opportunity, but Gen.G kept kind of shutting them down in situations that should not have occurred. And then on the other side, we already talked about FURIA going over Complexity 2-1. Let's look at that first series, though. Talk about that first series, the Gen.G series. What exactly happened over North?
Gen.G apparently just thrives in these close games because both their games against North, you know, went down to the wire 16-13, 16-14. Same thing goes for their Ents game and Complexity game earlier in the tournament. So it's just they find themselves in these late game scenarios and they can grind it out so well. All of their players stepping up well. We saw Bentet in that last series have banger matches. So, I mean, they're just doing everything very well.
They definitely are, and I mean, even look at this, Tim, with that op coming in huge with some impactful plays. We've been talking about Tim. Is he going to be able to show up? Is his op wielding as powerful as we saw early on in 2019? And it seems like he's starting to feel himself a little bit more and more because he's taking a lot more duels than we saw on that first day.
Yeah, the other player we would really like to talk about, and I'm sure you're going to say his name, is Sam. Young Sam has been playing so good for a player who's really playing on this type of stage for the first time in his career.
I think we all saw Sam's potential, right? As a young player, 17 years old, we all knew that he was going to have success eventually, but I don't think anyone would have guessed he would be the second highest rated player in the event and in the finals right now. That is mind-blowing stuff coming out of him, right? We thought he was a little bit behind, I guess, on the IQ plays in CS. He has the mechanical skill, but he's so young, he was making mistakes. Daps has somehow found a way to slot him into this team and fix all of those mistakes.
Exactly, and I mean, the press W religion, it seems like he has honed in on that. I mean, watching him hopping around in the server on a consistent basis, it seems like he's got a nice mixture of FPL and Tier 1 lands and Tier 2 lands, and now it's time for him to just find his sweet spot, you know? Find that sweet spot that he's going to be able to be consistent throughout all three of those platforms.
Now, you guys were talking about automatic as well, automatic's op. Is it going to be enough to counter the op on the other side, the op on FURIA? And I'm talking, of course, of Henny. He looked lights out in that series, along with other players from FURIA as well. It seemed like everyone from FURIA was stepping it up.
I think, you know, I'm not expecting these two to run into each other all that much. Tim isn't really the type of opera that's going to get very aggressive. He's not like, you know, a poison that's going to re-peek into angles all the time. So, and Henny's the type of player, I've mentioned it time and time again, where he doesn't die, which means he's probably not fighting many operas as much as, you know, the other aggressive ones. So I don't think we'll see these two head-to-head that much. I think they'll both have great series because very rarely do you see either of these players just completely fall off.
Now the maps are what really has me interested. I'm curious because I started even writing them down ahead of time and I just started putting question marks because I was like, I honestly don't know. I think we'll see what, Nuke and Dust 2 probably banned off the bat?
Probably so. You know, I'm curious whether Gen.G are going to pick Vertigo here or not. I'm hoping that they do. I think they're going to probably go ahead and pick Inferno here though. The first vetoes, I'm thinking Gen.G are going to have to veto that overpass. We just saw Complexity get handled on that overpass by FURIA. And I think FURIA are going to have to veto Dust 2.
Yeah, FURIA is not playing around on Overpass.
Yeah.
So they will, Gen.G will have to veto Overpass if I had to guess.
There you go.
It is, yep. And this is where things get interesting because Gen.G could pick into, Vertigo or Train even. And that's the key thing to look out for here. FURIA can also go all over the place with their pick.
I think they go Nuke. Yeah, there's the Nuke pick because that's not a strong map. That's the dangerous thing with how well they've been playing on Overpass and understanding that Gen.G is not a strong Overpass team. And we watched that yesterday too when FURIA played against North. Like they played, or not FURIA, who played against North? It was days ago. I'm like getting my days all confused. When FURIA played against North, it was a best of 1.
Yeah.
And they looked fantastic on Overpass then as well. So the final map will end up being Mirage, but we do see Nuke Inferno. So not the Vertigo pick, but the Inferno pick that we might have expected.
Yeah, and I'm slightly disappointed in Gen.G. I think that they could have had a 1-up in this series, in this grand final series, if they had that pocket Vertigo pick to bust it out here. Inferno certainly does look good for Gen.G though, but FURIA are just as good on Inferno. We saw on the first day, they pulled out a win. Of course it was versus Endpoint, and they showed up on the second day.
Asterisk on that one.
Yeah, and the scoreline was very much one-sided, but we know FURIA are efficient on Inferno, so yeah.
I've actually never been a fan of FURIA's Inferno. I'm going to be quite honest. I think that, you know, similar to MIBR, they falter a lot on their CT side, and I can never trust that they're going to walk away from their CT side with 8 rounds, which is a scary place to be for your map pick in a series.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the stats in general, it doesn't look like it's a map they really have a lot of success on more recently. It seems like it's not something that they would like to play. I can't really give either team an edge, I feel like, with the map. Well, maybe a slight edge to FURIA with that Nuke pick.
Sure, for sure.
I would have to agree with that.
Because Nuke comes out right off the bat and it's like, all right, we just watched them play Nuke. So now they've, if anything, they've been kind of figuring out, okay, what do we need to change potentially on Nuke? But at the same point in time, you could argue that if Gen.G was doing their homework, watching them play, they know exactly what to expect. So there's a lot of like balls up in the air. Like we don't really know what to see with this first map.
And there's a lot of moving parts with FURIA. I don't know what you were gonna say, but there's so many moving parts because of Art. Art makes so many plays on the map that I don't even think it's possible to counter him.
We were wondering what's going on towards that vent. Multiple occasions we saw Vent hopping around the vent. They did a double boost in the smoke in the vent. They have a lot of creative strategies through that. And not to mention, Yuri just beast moded it on Nuke in that semifinal. So carrying it over to the grand finals, I'm sure he's going to be able to continue that sort of success right here.
Well, we did sit down with the players before the semifinals, so why wouldn't we sit down with them before the finals to ask them about their journey thus far? Let's take a peek.
Kills are coming in all in favor of Gen.G. Oh, Storm now is through his teammate to finish off the remaining 2.
It feels so amazing. I mean, this is the long time I play in the grand final. We feel more confident, I mean, after beating North, and we're just gonna stay focused and play our game. I think we can take the trophy.
Opportunity to clutch this one out at 1v2. They don't know where he is. He nails the first and the second.
I think we expected like a good game against them. We need to revenge because we lost them on the Katowice qualifier. So now it's our turn. I wish Gen.G a good final, but this we will take it.
Let's get this final going. We will destroy you guys.
Hansel is a savage.
Let's go!
Hansel Ferdinand. He's
Guys,
coming in
it's on.
swinging. I love it. Very fired up. If you actually saw, there were some pictures that went out. He's a very mute player, like personality-wise. When you look at him on stage, he's not necessarily going to get up and scream, but he still was fired up.
Hey, if I'm Hansel Ferdinand, I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't I move to NA a lot sooner? I could have been farming these guys all these years, but he finally comes over to NA, and within 1 month, he's in a grand finals at a DreamHack Open. So those are stories you can definitely write home about, and it's definitely impressive that Bentet actually showed up today in that semifinals, just because, you know, we were wondering, is he going to be able to find that comfort level within a new squad that's as structured as DAP's teams tend to be?
He has had tons of success already, and he's playing the bomb sites with Sam, and their teamwork together is next level. Honestly, I'm surprised that their communication is so strong, given the fact that, you know, Bentet is coming from, you know, the Asian region, first time coming to NA to play for a team, and then Sam is a young kid, probably not used to communicating well in top tier 1 teams, but together they just play off of each other so well.
I think the coolest thing about this was when he first came over, I had a flashback to Splice, the Machine Gun bring in. I'm like, oh no, is this gonna be like that? Because everyone talked about how Machine Gun was this promising talent in Southeast Asia, and then he came and played for Splice and it fell apart so quickly. He ended up going back to Mongolia, and then his career just sort of evaporated at that point. Because the fear is, if you come here and it doesn't work, that's it. You've sort of laid it all on the line.
And I have to mention something that you touched on a little bit earlier, Mark, before we move over to the FURIA side, is about Kusta. You know, you mentioned that he's a little bit of an underrated player, and it seems like all his past teammates have nothing but good, positive things to say about him, and he brings those undervalued values towards the team and brings that impact in that manner as well.
Now we will jump on over to the other side. The FURIA boys, they got a nice little break after that long series over Complexity, the 2-1 win, but they're settling back down and getting ready to jump into the server. So you can see Vinny, K. Serrato, Art, Henny, Yuri, they all showed up at various points throughout the tournament. Probably one of the craziest plays, though, is that K. Serrato 2-tap with the SD on the stairs. Like, if he doesn't do that, I don't know how much differently that round goes, and that map actually could have shifted Complexity.
Yeah, the skill on this team is just through the roof, right? Yuri, top-rated player in the entire event so far. And K. Serrato, obviously, he's been sought after so much in the Brazilian scene, particularly by MIBR. Can't get him. Vinny, on the other hand, he's the one that everyone overlooks, but he has had some monster performances. Aces on Pistol Round, that vent round at 14-14 to get them in the finals. The fact that he swung out and gets 3 kills from that spot when all of Complexity is there, he's just gotten so many impactful kills.
So many impactful kills indeed, and I have to agree with you, all 5 of these members certainly seem like they can absolutely show up. Those 2 taps you were talking about, Mark, from K. Serrato, when we were watching them in that green room in that moment, I was like, this is his aim. He's totally going to 1-tap both of these guys coming in, so that kind of confidence as a viewer watching the player, that's amazing to have, just because you know he's going to be able to be good for 2 there.
Right now, FURIA 2 riding that high coming into the series, there's a question of whether or not it's exhaustion or like that energy that's coming in too. Like, are they tired or are they amped up because of that win over Complexity?
I think they're amped up, right? Now, if it was drawn out an extra hour, I think they could crash. If this first map goes, 3-0-2s and they lose, I'm gonna go ahead and count them out for the second map, in fact. But I think they're riding that high still. They have the momentum. They're feeling good. And they have yet to lose a game. Both the teams in the finals, actually, they're the teams that went 2-0.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. Now, looking at the opposition, Gen.G, they may have had that easier trip here in general. They haven't actually lost a single map yet, but they had a long break. Is that break something that could be detrimental?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I think these guys are on a honeymoon period right now, and I think they're learning as they go, and that just means they're a little bit more loose. They have a little bit less to lose, and they got a freestyle movement going on here over on the Gen.G side of things, so I think that should bode well for them to have less pressure on their shoulders.
Now, FURIA, too, has been together for a while. Obviously, some of the pieces for Gen.G just falling into place more recently, but Daps brings in a ton of structure. Is that going to be a deciding factor? Is that structure from Daps going to be strong enough to match up against this team that's been playing together for a while?
I mean, that's the ultimate question, right? Is will the structure be able to stop FURIA's aggression? Most of the time, outside of the top, tier 1 teams, the answer is no, honestly. It's very difficult to stop a team like FURIA, and it's not because what they do is so unbeatable. It's because what you see in practice day in and day out is so different, and you can't get scrim partners like FURIA. You just can't. It'd be like if you're in the NBA and you're about to go up against Shaq, right? There's not many people in practice that you can play that'll get you prepared to play Shaq.
That's so true, and yeah, you're right. FURIA's relentless aggression is definitely going to be the crux for Gen.G because of that structure you mentioned. The crossfires, they're heavily dependent on those, especially on the defensive side. We saw complexities crumble under the aggression coming out of FURIA, so I think that is definitely going to be a key factor here.
Prediction time, Christine. We'll start with you. Are you going with your boys on FURIA?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go with FURIA here. I do, once again, my heart is with Gen.G. I'm a huge fan of all of these players, but I got to go with FURIA here. They've been impressing me all weekend long, and I think they're going to take it all the way. You're already getting ready.
All right. Taken away from my prediction like this, I'm going to go FURIA. FURIA's gonna win this.
FURIA's gonna win this, you say.
It's hard. It's hard for me to do that to my boy.
Did you hear that noise? What was that? There's something over there, I think. Oh, okay. I'm going with Gen.G, because somebody's got to be a fan of North American CS. What is this? I've been sabotaged. That's the second time, CG operator. I'm coming after you. I'm not super pleased. You did this. I wanted Gen.G, and they give me
I hope
FURIA.
you're muted right now on stream.
It's okay. You have the proof in the sweater.
Yeah, exactly. No more of this. Oh, watch it back without the sound there, Sean. Let's take a look at the Twitch chat as well, see if you guys are vibing with me, and you are. Gen.G swinging for the fences. 67% of the viewers at home thinking that they're going to take the win over top of FURIA. The Brazilian fans just haven't been showing up.
I'm disappointed in the Brazilian fan base. Honestly, what's going on? Is it because MIBR is just
shocking.
kind of flopping?
Yeah.
They're all just fair weather now? They're going to Gen.G?
It's weird.
What's going on?
Gen.G is the new hope.
Or do we have that many more NA fans all of a sudden? You know, we've got 3 contending NA teams now coming up and up, and now we've got all of a sudden a lot of NA fans in Twitch chat?
Well, the last time a North American team won a DreamHack Open Denver 2017, it was in October of that year. And you know who did it? Cloud9. Who was on that team? Automatic. Who's on the team right now that's in the finals? Automatic. That's why it's going to happen. We're going to throw things to a break. When we come back, you're going to watch Automatic hoist that trophy. Stay tuned.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The grand finals here of DreamHack Anaheim 2020. FURIA taking on Gen.G, Harry. Certainly not the matchup we expected coming into this event. And Gen.G, I think, are the biggest surprise of all, right? These guys just form, they come to their first DreamHack Open, and they make a hell of a run. Yet to drop a map, both these teams yet to drop a series, and now we got to see who will be the first to fall.
Yeah, I mean, this is so exciting, and I think the fact that Gen.G have come here and made such a statement right up here, as you say, they haven't dropped a map yet to get to the grand finals. Things are looking up for NA Counter-Strike right now. And then over on the other side of the fence, we've got FURIA, right? The Brazilian hope, the only Brazilian team left fighting its way through here, now find themselves in the grand finals, in the head-to-head, and this is exactly where FURIA want to be.
Yeah, and you know, with MIBR already dropping, that's the biggest surprise. FURIA, they've got big shoes to fill if they want to take up this position, and a best of 3 that we are jumping right into. No waiting around here as we start things off over on Nuke. It's the pick of FURIA. It's a Brazilian boy starting on that T side, and I'm sure they're going to bring the heat.
Yeah, immediately going to be showing some presence in towards the lobby. FURIA slowing down early on. We already saw a Nuke game from them just moments ago, and that was the Trailblazer, so hopefully this one can go in the same sort of fashion. Daps his dualies. They'll meet their demise up on top of the hut, but in the meantime, actually, kills have come in from Kusta. They try and get this bomb down through the vents, and while they do get 3 players down,
they haven't got the bomb.
That is the problem. Oh, it's not. Oh, he's got it down. In his dying breath, he has dropped the bomb down the vent. So there is still a chance here for FURIA, and that kill there from Vinny is going to help out massively.
At this point, you're playing deathmatch. You're not even worrying about the package. A minute on the clock, and FURIA need the kills. That wrap from Vinny does net 1, and Keserato is going to be able to pick it back up. Gen.G, they've realized it has been retrieved by the likes of FURIA. The question is, which site will it go to? You can always climb back up the vents, and Som seems to be aware of that. He is ready in the squeaky door, holding for the cross towards A. Bentet, in the meantime, down in the depths below. That smoke facilitating the path towards Deacon, and the cover from the door is there. Window shot does dink Bentet down low. Som's coming through the vents, and the retake is on.
Yeah, now just Keserato left to beat, but many a man have tried and failed to do exactly that. Bomb's ticking away. He doesn't have armor. He's got this flashbang to try and force one of these engagements. He's just caught the timing here, but they've literally and metaphorically shut the door on him. Keserato trying to get up into the window. They're on the bomb. They're sticking it. Damage done. He gets the first man off, but it's not the diffuser. Tom stuck it. And Keserato, even though he gets the kills, it's not the round. Gen.G are going to get that one locked in and get off to a good start here on Nuke.
I love that play from Som. He's spinning on the bomb. He sits directly above it, meaning he can just 360 and 360, make his hitbox really, really hard to hit, and Keserato can't close out the round. Som has been a pleasure to watch in this tournament, dropping 30s left and right. Such a young player, and Gen.G, they will start things off on the right foot here on the CT side. 1-0 lead, forced by FURIA. They've got guns behind that money from the bomb plant. Couple of Kriegs here. What can they do with them?
Oh, once again, trying to get out through the squeaky door, and they do actually manage to get a man down. Oh, just about slips by. And now with the man down in towards B, this is going to throw a bit of disruption into the backline of Gen.G. We can see Bentet heading down towards this B bomb site, and he's actually spotted Art. In the meantime, automatic, that could be a meaty nade, but actually, not that great. Damage done through the smoke, however. It's going to leave the majority of these FURIA players low, and this is ideal for Gen.G. Now they can just have these SMGs, this scout, kind of finish these tagged up players off as they try and get into this B bomb site.
Yeah, Gen.G know exactly what's going on. They've got numbers here, and the rotates are already coming down from the top site. Keserato, a crucial kill, but he gets tagged coming through that door, and the damage painted even further across this FURIA roster. Still they're finding kills. Low HP, not holding them back, but automatic with a flick shot to keep Gen.G in this. The bomb once again dropped in no man's land, and automatic, he waits for no man. Second headshot of the round, and 1 by 1, FURIA falling here. This Krieg from Yuri's got to do it all, and he's not exactly got a boatload of time either. That bomb in the middle of nowhere, and this is surely going to be a closed round by Gen.G. It will. Som shuts it down. 2 from him, 2 from Orti, and it's going to be Gen.G going 2-0 up.
Yeah, not breaking under the pressure. I mean, those rounds are the ones that you always see get out of hand, right? Where one player slips down into that B bomb site, the outside smokes go in, you force port around it, they can get out of hand very, very quickly. So Gen.G doing a stellar job of staying on top of this one. And now there's no money left for FURIA, so this should be the 3-0 start that Gen.G were looking for here.
I like how consistently FURIA are throwing this mini utility, right? Getting that smoke down always is going to make Gen.G question whether a player is lower. They're combining it with the Molotov on the hut roof as well. So Daps, he's being forced into a lot of these engagements. Now in this round, it works wonderfully. They are armorless pistols after all. But I'm even thinking back to the Julies where he gets knocked off by that molly. Great utility from FURIA, but again, it's something that Gen.G are to expect. They just watched FURIA play this exact map, and boy, did that go the distance.
Yeah, I'm curious how we're going to see Daps try and play with this top hut position, right? Because already these first 3 rounds, every single one of them, we've seen them try and force that early fight. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, you can just sit up there with the smoke if you're Daps. You can just wait around and be ready for it. And now that we've got this full buy coming in, we're going to see exactly how he wants to deal with this problem. Kriegs across the board for FURIA, no surprises there. Smokes and flashes going down towards outside now to facilitate this bomb cross. Molotov throw it in as well. That's going to flush out any potential close players. Automatic, falling back into CT spawn. Looking for a gap in this smoke, but he can't quite find anything. He's just got to fall on back into hell here. Now, these smokes are going to start to dissipate. FURIA, they haven't crossed into secret. Instead, they're trying to go for this mini wrap now that these smokes have faded. Daps, the timing there is not in his favor. He'll get picked up, and this now leaves Som inside of this A bomb site. He's running out of teammates. He's going to try and make a stand all alone, and he will get the first player off of the tally. 1 minute and 5 seconds, so still plenty of time for FURIA to switch things up, but they're committed, they're going in, and Gen.G, they're falling apart at the seam.
I like how slow FURIA are there once they get the first couple of kills. They just hold default. They know there's another player on the A site, and once they figure out Som's there, they don't rush him. He is the one going in for the peaks, and FURIA just holding with Kriegs are going to get the advantage in those engagements. Bentet is trying to find an AWP, I presume, but he can't get it. And he's being hunted as well. Vinny dead. But now the position's been given up, and now they can send in the cavalry. Bentet, can he escape? He's really trying to find this AWP, and he gets it, but he won't get away with his life. Queserato up and above the red box is going to clean that one up. And it's going to be FURIA finding their first here on this T side, getting in nice and early. Not letting Gen.G run away too heavily. Money's not great for Gen.G either. They've got the rifles in, but limited utility, and we know that FURIA love to put the pressure on early and get players out through this door. Not going to be the case in this round. They go for the outside smokes, but Gen.G have just got to respect that and give them the control.
Oh, well, they give them the control towards outside, though. If we look on the minimap, Automatic and Bentet, they're actually starting to go aggressive. By the looks of things over here towards B, they've taken this little foothold over in the radio room. So they give with one hand towards outside, but they take with the other here on this lobby approach. They're going to get information that this side of the map looks to be clear. Now, Queserato is still floating around here, but if you're Gen.G, you've got a great idea as to where FURIA might end up. They've spotted a bunch of players towards outside. But Daps and Kusta have been picked up in the meantime. 3-on-3, FURIA, they've closed the gap, they've closed the distance, and this is where this lobby push now has to yield some results for Gen.G. It's going to make or it's going to break this round. Are they ready for Queserato, who has been waiting patiently all round long?
Timing is everything. Bentet's on the angle. He spotted Queserato. This fight already put him low. Queserato swings and he gets that kill. Som is stuck alone on A, but he has support from the heavens. Not for long. Automatic getting domed, and Som pushes the lobby to take the control back. But in this meantime, he loses the A site and even the fight. Yuri forcing it, not even going for the bomb plant there with low time, and it will work out for him. FURIA doubling down on the rounds. You could see Gen.G knew exactly what was going on in that round. They were trying to put a lot of onus on taking that lobby control, but Queserato, I love how slowly he goes into those fights, how late he comes into play. He doesn't show anything, and Gen.G get a full sense of security inside of that lobby. They've now been broken, pistols out, USPs in the P250.
Yeah, no skin in this round for Gen.G. It is just these pistols. So this is where FURIA are looking to tie things up and build up some money. That's a wallbang onto Som there. Pretty unfortunate he's found. That's actually the one upgraded pistol that was in this round for Gen.G. I don't think we needed to worry about it very much to begin with, though. And FURIA just kind of demonstrating this very, very measured approach once again. They're not keen on running fast, as we saw early on, into these A hits, right? We haven't seen that hot Molotov come back in. They feel like they found the recipe to success here in these slow plays. And this will be another one as they get this bomb planted up on the A bomb site.
Yeah, Gen.G put Stack down on the B site, at least in this round, hoping that Som could try and hold on to A, but with that man going down, FURIA just sent in a lurk player and they cleared out the A site completely. Now it's all about getting the kills. And Art, he's very keen for that as well. He spotted a couple deep towards the CT yard, but these players are just waiting. And Art, he definitely doesn't need to give away a gun. He'll fall off, let his team pick up the pieces of this round, and those pieces will be picked up fairly quickly. It's going to be a third for FURIA, equaling up with that of Gen.G. But Guns at least coming back in. That was almost a team kill at the end of the round. Henny was shooting a gun over to Vinny to upgrade his MAC-10, and he almost killed Art, but not quite. No AWP here for Automatic either, so rifles out for Gen.G, but it's far from perfect.
Yeah, we've already seen Gen.G try and fight this slow style from FURIA with these lobby takes. I was going to say maybe we see something different in this round, but FURIA throwing in this volley of nades that they were doing earlier on, and they try to assemble this boost. Now that, he must have seen something there. This spam's going in, and these two players at the vents are brought down low. Kusta is already down here at B as well, trying to keep his eye on the vent position. Molotov is going to burn Art out into the open. Gen.G, this is a great little adjustment to deal with this aggression from FURIA. Even spotting it and getting rid of that kind of impromptu, not really seen before boost over at those vents. Bentet now over at the ramp room. Ooh. One man has gotten out, and he didn't actually spot that there were two players here. All they've seen is K-Serato. Vinny's close position over at Hell. Not gonna net a kill for FURIA, but it does get them this 2v4 down towards the B bomb site.
Kusta's been hit all round long though, just patient. Smoke out, trade is there for Vinny, but 4 HP means a clutch is very unrealistic. He'll get the plant, no one here in time for anyone to stop that bomb from getting planted. And Vinny, he's gone back up, but he's heard the footsteps. Automatic, giving away his position. Vinny's hit a shot, surely not. Daps is going to close it from the doors, and Gen.G will get that retake after all. Like you say, great adjustment from Gen.G, right? Immediately putting Kusta down on that lower bomb site, taking players out of the yard. They had no AWP to contend for it anyway, so Kusta's able to watch that vents, stop Art from getting behind enemy lines, because even if Art doesn't get a kill from that position and just gets down towards B, you know there's a timer on that play. He can go anywhere. He can come up the vents if they want to go for an inner split. He can flank ramp to try and assist his team to take control of that area. He can even go up secret and fight yards. So you definitely want to have a player dealing with these vent dives that FURIA are constantly going for. And we'll see if that continues to be the case.
I mean, we're talking about the reactions, the cooling of this Gen.G squad. And for that, I mean, you got to look no further than the man who was just on our screens, Daps, right? You think about his 2.5-year tenure in NRG, consistently had players coming in and out, going through the doors, and was always kind of lifting the level that they were playing at throughout his tenure there in that squad. And I think, that experience, that exposure to having to play with so many different styles, so many different types of players, that's what makes him such a good leader here, especially when you do have, some of these young guns in the team. He's got his ideas, he knows what he wants, and he's kind of already got that vision as to how he wants this squad to look.
And I mean, if NRG wasn't evidence enough, right, of how he can, as you say, lift his players' performance, look at how well Som's playing, right? At least under Envy, we didn't really see anything from this young guy. And now under the leadership of Daps, well, he is just playing out of his mind, dropping 30s at a DreamHack Open like it's nothing. So definitely some, praise got to go the way the in-game leader here of Gen.G got them in this position in the first place, but how much further can they go? That's our question.
While we wait for these little issues to be put to bed, we can actually take a look at the money inside of the game, Hugo. We can take a look at the scene there, because it's been a little while since we've seen some Counter-Strike on our screens. Now, obviously, with that last round, only 2 players survived for Gen.G, so they know they're not out the woods just yet in terms of these money troubles that could be cropping up any moment now. FURIA, they've kind of dodged that pretty nicely as a result of keeping those 3 rounds that they were able to get. You know, they keep 2 out of 3 of them very, very clean. So the money's built up here for the T side. FURIA, sure, they're down a round, but they're actually in a pretty good spot to turn this around. It's in kind of like this pivot point, right? These are, you'll see a few of these in a game of Counter-Strike where the money is in a spot where you can just put your opposition on the back foot, right? You can just springboard yourself ahead by a couple of rounds. And we're kind of about to head into one of them. So this next round is actually very important for both of these squads.
Yeah, especially considering on FURIA on the T side, right? Being 1 round behind is nothing to be ashamed of at all. Nuke, a map that Gen.G showed to be at least prolific on that CT side in their opening day. We had them taking on ENT. They were receiving a bit of a beating, and they managed to pull an 11-round comeback to actually close out that map on the CT side in the opening matchup and knock ENT down to the lower bracket in their group, or the lower matchup in their group, which eventually ended them getting eliminated. That's pretty damn impressive.
As we can see there, we've got our admins on stage taking a look at this. I've heard there's a cable that's getting changed. I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess there's a cable getting changed,
that's what
right?
Means,
but like, I don't know what cable, I don't know what's happened, I don't know what they've done. But Gen.G, they're sabotaging both the stage and trying to get in the heads of FURIA maybe with this little extended pause. Let's see.
Yeah, there's nothing rougher than this as a player as well, just having to sit there. You know, you can't talk in these technical timeouts. You can't discuss, your upcoming round with your team. You sometimes see these long tech timeouts end, and then immediately a tactical timeout is called, just so a team can get back on the same page, make sure, okay, we know what we're doing, here's our role, here's our plan. Because even just a minute or 2 can really throw a spanner in the works, especially on that T side. That being said, I'm sure FURIA are happy with the break. They have played a long-ass best-of-3 earlier on just a moment ago, including on Nuke as well. So they went the distance against Complexity, 30 rounds there. Honestly, at one point, it really did look like Complexity's game. I mean, it went both ways, right? FURIA was leading heavily at the start of Nuke.
That was such a... something else that made that semi-final so good is, you could see out in the crowd, obviously, we always go on about it, man. We talk about Jason Lake more than we talk about Complexity at this point. But he was out there.
Complexity.
Yeah. Mr. Complexity was out in the crowd, and the fans were with him, and it was so insane to see, right? Like, having that level of interaction is something that's so unique to esports. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that close to your favorite football players. You don't get that close to the owner of, I don't know, some huge organization,
no,
right?
Not since the restraining order.
Yeah, and ever since then, unsurprisingly, they've just turned me away every single time. But that's one of the things that's so great about this, Hugo. Now, obviously, I actually quite like these lull in the actions. It just lets us kind of sit here and ramble on. Looking at this Gen.G squad, another interesting player that I wanted to talk about was Automatic, right? And for him, I'm hoping this could be his road to recovery, right? And same really for Rush over in Complexity, because these two, they've been the 2 players from that Cloud9 squad, not including Skadoodle, obviously, who went to retirement, who are yet to even win an event since picking that major up.
Damn. While ago, Harry, 2 years.
Yeah, and it feels like it was yesterday. I still think it's exciting times for NA Counter-Strike right now. We've got, what, 3 NA teams in the top 20?
Yeah,
potentially 2 more on the rise.
That's not even just including teams that play within the NA scene that aren't necessarily from North America. So yeah, a lot of excitement in that sense. No longer the days of NACS lull, right? That's always appreciated. Now it's, UKCS lull. Sadly.
I mean, even that's on the rise.
Yeah,
Endpoint did it right here.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So anything is possible. I like it that we can see what the players are doing in this time. Daps looks so stone-faced, so concentrated on this grand final.
See, if I was in one of these pauses, I'd just tab out and play Minesweeper. Keep that mind active.
Krunker.io actually in the web browser.
Make sure you got your brain still working at maximum level. Harry, you were wondering what cable is having a problem. It's the headset specifically. So one of the most important cables, I guess, in the game. I guess you could just have a wireless headset. That kind of negates that. I'm a wireless mouse user myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big fan, or?
Yeah, of course. Why would I want a wire getting in the way?
It's hard to go back, isn't it?
Yeah. Som's probably wishing he had no wires either, but you know, can't always be that way. I mean, he does have no wires right now because
yeah, that's the problem, actually.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. There we go, there's a headset just been delivered to the stage. First of many times you're going to have to deal with this, Som.
Here we go, it looks good. It looks like we're getting back into things at least, and that's always appreciated.
One of the things that's so wild to me is what Mark said over on the desk about NA not having won a DreamHack Open since Denver back in 2018. And the team that did that was Cloud9 with Automatic on, which is even more astonishing, perhaps. Maybe history could repeat itself here today. I see the headsets back on. I think we're all ready. This young man has decided we can continue. And it looks like this pause might be coming to a close. Hugo, do you want to kind of summarize where we're at? Because it's been a while since we saw Counter-Strike on these screens. We've been looking at those wonderful faces up on the stage for a little too long now. Let's get them off. And let's focus on the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, 7 rounds in. Gen.G 4-3 up on the CT side of Nuke. They took those opening 3 rounds. FURIA bounced back with the rifle rounds going their way. And finally, Gen.G have put a stop to it. But only temporarily, Harry. As said, the money on the edge of things here for Gen.G. They've got to buy, but those Molotovs are going to be scarce. And the AWP is going to be lacking as well. FURIA on the other side are krieged up and ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting around. We are back into the business. Gen.G FURIA, Nuke, map 1, the grand final, DreamHack Anaheim.
And FURIA, they might not waste any time here. They were a little bit bored sitting around waiting, and now they try and go fast towards outside. It's actually Kusta to beat them to the punchline, though. He's got Automatic alongside him as well. These smokes have gone in, and that's just going to cut outside in 2. Kusta's made noise. They know he's here. They know there's a man nearby, and there's the lineup. Yuri able to finally get that trade onto Kusta. Better late than never. Automatic has still been able to keep this in favor of Gen.G, though, and that bomb was just spotted towards outside. Automatic still floating around, still taking heads off, and once again, that bomb is back in the prying eyes of Gen.G.
Automatic giving us the best example of why it can be dangerous to buy Kriegs on the T side. If you give them over, you give such a powerful weapon to a defensive side who's just aiming on holding angles. Bentet's moving into one, and he'll find Henny inside of the lobby. That was the one luck player FURIA had. They put so much onus in taking outside in this round, and they barely got past the red box. Queserato got to clutch it out on his own. 1-on-3. 2 players on this top site as well. Som still sitting back behind the silo, ready and waiting, and a man up above. Actually, rather, that is Som. So Bentet sitting on the site. And Queserato, he's not seen the legs just yet. This could catch him off.
Oh, he's gotten down through the vents. He's actually just caught this timing to sneak down and around. Daps is the one man at this B-bomb site. He's hidden up on the silo, though, and it's not going to get checked. Queserato, this should be his undoing. Daps just swings out. Easiest kill of his career. Gen.G, they're going to take that 5th round. They do it pretty cleanly as well. 3 players staying alive here over on this CT side. Krieg's kept forward as well. They're going to be feeling very happy about that. And perhaps most importantly for Gen.G, they've finally broken FURIA's money here. This is where they're going to try and hop, skip, jump themselves a few rounds ahead.
Yeah, barely any investment here for FURIA, so more just a run-over round for Gen.G. You can't expect more than a couple of kills off of this Deeg. Vinny with the only real skin in the game right now. Art's managed to get himself on main roof, but Kusta has been playing this garage position, making sure he watches for the mini split, allowing them to get down towards Secret, but we've already seen those early rotations that Gen.G have had. Daps down on B in the past, and Bentet as well. The only danger, of course, is if you're on main roof, Art can jump around the corner and avoid Kusta's view. Now, the shadow might give away information, but it's all about the timing. Will Kusta catch it? Because they are run boosting right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to run boost high over the top. But no, he still saw it. He still sees Art there trying to drop into main. I like the attempt. I like the idea. Oh, my word. This Krieg is doing more damage. Here's the Glock. Smites him down. That's now a weapon picked up over outside. There's still a little ways to go before this gets out of hand, and they've actually even shut down Yuri. So one player who could have grabbed the Krieg. So Gen.G, they should be quick to get this round back under control.
Again, they've had to concede outside here. They have no one watching it. That's giving a lot of room for these two players. They could grab that Krieg. Of course, they don't know whether it's being watched or not, but it's worth the risk. Queserato running wild for that weapon. 20 seconds, though, and Buntet's come out from above and dropped Vinny. Only one man left up, armed, but he throws it actually out of the map. Won't let Gen.G resecure that weapon. Smart play from Queserato, ending the round nice and quickly as well, and giving Gen.G that 6-3 lead. FURIA, though, coming back in with guns. Still going to be lacking the AWP, but on the T side of Nuke, that's really not the end of the world, and Gen.G haven't really been running one themselves. Finally, that will change. The gun coming out and thrown over to Automatic.
Yeah, I feel like this is the second AWP we've seen him have, and he didn't really fare too well with it the first time around. Pause called on in. This time it's for FURIA, and they're looking to discuss tactics here heading into round number 10. A few seconds to make sure everyone's on the same page, and maybe we see them switch things up now. They've been going for this kind of slow default, these outside smokes getting thrown in the majority of these rounds. We've seen these fast A plays attempted with the hot Molotov. And I think now's the time for a classic kind of FURIA misdirection where they do just throw something unexpected into the works here.
Yeah, that Molotov, that's going to be a bit of a problem for the smokes. Gen.G trying to disrupt the wall here for FURIA. It's not going to do too well, though. Mollies do land correctly, but the smokes bloom entirely on them, so there's still a wall to cross behind for FURIA. They're scared of someone being inside of the secret, though, taking it slow. Automatic, he is exactly there, not playing on the stairs, but instead waiting with the AWP. FURIA haven't had to deal with anyone in this position before, but they definitely seem aware of the possibility. Kusta's been spotted in the garage as well. I have to fall back for now, but that might at least bait FURIA into expecting less control down towards that B site, considering there is still yard presence for Gen.G. Yuri's still not budging. He'll take his sweet time down lower as Kusta watches the mini split. And the rest of FURIA is still inside of the lobby, ready and waiting to burst A if need be. That door smoke has faded, and they are setting up utility towards the top site.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this hold, is you can very much play based around what you see and what you hear, right? How you see Gen.G are responding to this problem of players getting by outside. One player has gone rotating down towards that B-bomb site. In the meantime, Yuri's actually left Secret and is now trying to grab this hell position. They're looking to split this A-bomb site, and this is where Som has really got to try and make a difference, and instead, he's shut down and wished immediately. Automatic now getting up through those secret stairs. Buntet over in heavens, and at least now they've got it back into this 2-on-2. That's courtesy of Automatic. Queserato hidden down beneath heaven. Oh, he's so blind, and there's the kill. 1v1 now, and it's found for Automatic as he takes everybody down. 3 kills there, grabs the AWP, gets that defuse, and they're not ready to give FURIA a 4th round just yet.
He even throws a killer flashbang for Buntet that blinds Queserato on the site. You would assume Buntet's going to come in wide and get that kill, but Automatic just steals it away, man. What a perfect round from him, swapping out to the Krieg, moving through FURIA's own smoke, and winning that retake on his own. Gen.G, a real lead right now, 7-3. We were talking about how 4-3 was anyone's game, but FURIA's money's been broken twice now, and they are once again on pistols. Hero AK for Henny, and a MAC-10 for Art. We might see a vent dive attempt at least, but Molotov's down for Gen.G, trying to stop exactly that. Some dodging potential flashbangs. We haven't seen anyone go ramp really, apart from that one round where they crept Yuri and Queserato out into position. Buntet has yet to be tested, and he's going to get a bit of a push his way. Gets one. Automatic in on the rotate. Buntet's dropped down towards B. Automatic needs to be careful. They're getting closer, and his AWP could be gifted away to these pistols. It will be. Now Heaven opened up as a route. FURIA can go round the world if they want.
Yeah, this is a very unorthodox round of Counter-Strike. They've ended up in this like weird in-between nether realm of ramp and this heaven position. They're grouping up over towards Hell, but the bomb is still back at ramp room, and Buntet's actually going aggressive here, starting to clear ramp. Now, this could come back to hurt Gen.G based on how successful this is, because now FURIA come back to the ramp room, and that's Buntet eliminated. Sure, he gets the information, but this is going to leave Kusta all alone. 1v4 required, and rifles picked up for everyone on this FURIA side. The AWP even gained as well. This is a damn near impossible 1v4 for this man.
Yeah, and the money's low as well. You could justify saving the weapon, but he seems interested in going for it. The tag is there, and that might just cool him off of this round, but FURIA, they've got his position, and they might just try and hunt him down. Climbing back up through the vents if they let him, and they will for the time being. Back towards a T-spawn. He avoids the bomb radius and avoids death. That's an M4 saved here for Gen.G, but ultimately FURIA very happy with that round. They half buy, they put a 1 AK and a Mac 10 into the investment, and they come out with a round win and 4 alive. Even a free AWP as well, and that's something that FURIA have not been able to afford so far this game. It's a big success for FURIA in round number 11.
Yeah, this is going to leave Gen.G in a pretty awkward little spot now. They've actually, so I was curious if they were going to prioritize getting this AWP back in the hands of Automatic, and you understand why they've gone for it here. Henny, now with an AWP over on the side of FURIA, you want something to combat that. This fast A play's been thrown in, and it might be the perfect solution to these problems. Som's back in the bomb site, still alive, still kicking, albeit narrowly. He's helped out a bit by Kusta, getting another, and oh dear, they've now combined for yet another kill in favor of Gen.G. 2 versus 4, FURIA, blink and you miss it. They are massively on the back foot. That Molotov, it gets a little bit dicey. But this bomb is in the prying eyes of everyone on Gen.G right now.
Som just burning all his utility, making matters worse for FURIA. That door smoke allows Kusta to reposition, but he doesn't even need to. FURIA don't have a Molotov to counteract this position, and it's such a strong one if that's the case. Might not matter. Automatic's found yet another kill, and it's going to be Vinny coming in through the door. Kusta can just play the timing, and he swings out wide. Missed shot. Vinny given an opportunity here. How much more can he get? It's a double peek from multiple layers, and Automatic just whips him out with the pistol. Gen.G, 8 rounds here on the CT side. That was a low buy for them. That was a perfect call, albeit for FURIA, where they rush out of A. They know that Gen.G don't have the utility to hold, but Som holds his own at the back of the site, smokes himself off, buys time, and everyone comes rotating in to play around that bomb. FURIA, reinvestment from them, but this is turning out to be a dicey half after all.
Now, once again, they go back to this early A utility. Now, I haven't really seen it yield the results that FURIA are wanting it to thus far, right? Outside of that one round where they're able to get into A, they get those openers, and a lot of it is just kind of hinged on being able to best Som over inside of the bomb site. And that's not something that you've been able to do consistently if you're FURIA. I'm not entirely sold, but this time they've been able to get a man down through the vents. That was the idea with that smoke cross. Buntet's already down at B. Daps is here alongside. A bomb is planted, and FURIA running away with this round. Now 5 on 3. Buntet, still an unknown factor, still an unknown entity, now making his presence known. Needs a little bit more, spraying away. Buntet in with a second, and oh no, this is now back in favor of Gen.G on this retake. Buntet's gonna tap the bomb, tries to bait the peak. Keserato, sprays, but not quite the kill. And now Som versus Yuri. Smoke is down on the bomb, but they don't have a kit, and that is a heartbreaking way for this one to always got a kit, but I don't think there's time. It's going to be so close. He's got it. Oh, just about. Gen.G get the round, a 9th on the board. And Som's going to hold his own in the 1v1.
Oh, great information for his teammate, though, to tell him there's a kit dropped out on the site, right? You could see that was an almost a lost round off the back of the time, but Som picking it up at the last possible second. Gen.G, they're making it happen. Man, even converting these rounds despite not getting the opening kills. Art's been doing such a good job of finding early frags. He's got 4 opening kills already in this map so far. Actually, Art is the top 3 rated player in Counter-Strike Go of finding opening kills. So that's an impressive stat. And this time, Vinny is going to steal it away, though. FURIA do get players down towards B. No smoke wall. They just take it dry, and Art's pushed up so close as well. Automatic, surely not ready for this position, but the spray is perfect, and he does get that kill. Back into a 4-on-4, but so much control lost. Gen.G, how do they adjust to Yard being given away?
Well, I mean, you can already see it. Immediate rotation here, right? Automatic having to abandon his position has now actually taken one up down towards this B side of the map. He's reinforcing that. Buntet's currently over on the ramp room and can swing in if needed. This leaves Gen.G split 2-2 between either bomb site and no outside control. That makes me a little bit nervous for Som and Daps over here at the A side of the map if an A split were to come on in. But luckily enough for them, FURIA, they're looking like they want to go in towards B right now. FURIA are just all across the map. They're still trying to really feel out where they want to end up. Automatics decided to go for an information play, and that kill has started to shift all these CT players around, but then suddenly they find the bomb, and they see it in main. It's grabbed, it's snatched by Vinny, and he runs it down towards B, trying to rejoin Yuri. This is such an awkward round. Vinny waiting patiently, and they line up for him. So now it's only Daps left standing. He might try and catch the bomb going back up. There's 10 seconds. This bomb's got to go somewhere. It either goes down or it goes up, but instead they get the kill, and FURIA cementing that 5th. Oh, that was close.
That was ballsy to hang around in the vents for such low time. He heard Daps, he knew he was in that position, and instead of just going up the ladder, he decided to commit to taking the fight. That led him in a position where he couldn't plant. And still he gets away with a frag. Very, very important kill there from Vinny, and a huge round from him as well. That puts FURIA back on the board, but most importantly, breaks the cash. A 9-6 half potentially here for FURIA if they can just put the final nail in the coffin. Scout outside for Automatic does land a tag. Pistols and no Molotovs, but FURIA aren't going quickly into that A site. They don't want to run the gauntlet up against what could be and is a potential stack. Daps caught out of position. Another opening kill for Vinny, add it to the tally. Automatic trying to come into trade. He's done damage off this scout, tagging 2 players in this round. Won't matter for now, but that could have long-term effect.
Oh, and slowly but surely, this bomb is heading towards ramp room. Buntet is honed in on this angle. He's been waiting all round for this peak. How's the crosshair placement, bud? Let's see. If he's got this first shot lined up, they managed to get past. He sees only one man. He's only seen one. Now suddenly the penny's going to drop. The flash has gone in, and Buntet's got to start running for the hills. Automatic already got some scout damage off, but that one's not going to connect. FURIA, they've got ramp room. Do they want to take B? They're grouping up, looking like they've got their mind made up. Buntet has this crossfire with Kuster. Damage done on the Deeg. Buntet looking for a bit more. And there's a 3rd for him, still alive, and the bomb at his feet. Buntet could do it all as both of these players are tagged down low for FURIA. It's Yuri and Vinny left standing, 2 versus 4, and only pistols to beat. Gen.G trying to do the impossible. 15 seconds. They've got to go, and they've got to go now. The kills are in, and Gen.G take double digits, 10-5 at the end of the first half. Buntet saves it and gets them where they want to be. Join us after a quick break. We'll be back with the second half of Nuke.
I'm a chap wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, cattle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a rootin', tootin', trail blazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', tootin', trail blazing cowboy, doing what I do best. chap wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, cattle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best.
Wow, we got some rootin' tootin', AK shooting cowboys in the server right now. Gen.G sat 10-5 up at the end of that first half there. And FURIA now moving into the CT side of things to try and switch this up and turn it around. Keserato at ramp, gonna be that. Oh, he's already dinked down low. Never mind, he might be out of this one. Henny tries to help out, but all the kills have come up in favor of Gen.G bar one right now. Heaven's getting wrapped, and they look to hit this A bomb site.
Daps has heard come up the ladder as well. There's information here for Gen.G. The one man on the A site's getting shot from two sides, and Son finds that kill. Now 4-on-2, and like said, Keserato dinked on the first fight of this round. He is going to be in a tough spot. Henny coming in through the yard, and Gen.G, surely no way they can physically lose this round here. No reason to hunt down these players. Henny saving his armor, and Keserato probably similar situation as well. Gen.G, they find the pistol round to start things off, Harry. This is going to be an 11-5 lead with the potential of more. FURIA expected to force on the CT side, especially being down so many rounds, but that could only work in Gen.G's favor. If they can find these anti-forces, that could lead them 13-5 up before you know it. And Tet's trying to clean up the couple of CTs saving armor.
Also, we've seen Daps by dualies a lot now, and I'm starting to, at first I'm like, all right, maybe he's just having a good time, maybe he's trying to enjoy himself, but maybe he's trying to make this meta. I don't know, he keeps doing it. He keeps doing it at the minute. I've yet to see it pay off for him.
If you want utility that comes under $400, what pistol do you buy? I guess on the CT side, Julie somewhat makes sense over a P250. T side though, it's lost on me, Harry. I have no idea. We'll have to talk to him and figure out the mindset. Some people claim it works. Look at Nitro. I just don't think it does.
And again, some people, claim the Earth is a globe, and
yeah, look at
what do they know? Gen.G getting players down through the vents. Well, not vents, stairs rather. Setting up towards outside. Buntet's going to be left to hold this secret push. Meanwhile, the rest of Automatic, Daps and co trying to take heaven control here for Gen.G. FURIA, how have they responded to this loss of outside control? I'm seeing 3 bodies in this A bomb site right now. It looks like they just boosted a man back up into heaven from the top of hut. And so this is at least going to offer a peek, a bit of insight into where one of these players lies. That's Automatic picking up Vinny there. Kills are going left and right though, and it's Automatic's position that should be the thing that locks this round in for Gen.G.
Yeah, they're even keeping players down on B as well with the utility. They eventually get rid of Henny and decide why not just take the B site. Keserato is here though. He's come rotating with a rifle, and Kusta's found him jumping up above, and that's the one man who was armed for the job dead. Yuri alone may as well look for some kills here, make some money, but could argue a save as well. Doesn't really matter. This is a lost round. This is a 12-5 lead. And as we said, Harry, that 13-5 looking more realistic with every second that passes. Could this really be a stomp in the grand finals from Gen.G? What a start that would be for this team in 2020. This is FURIA's map pick. This is one that they took complexity to their knees moments ago. And Gen.G are making it look easy. One more easy round before the job gets tough, though, and FURIA have brought 5 nades to the party. They're looking for, an explosion here towards ramp.
Look at all these nades, look at the artillery. I want to know where that's going in. I want to know what the game plan is here for FURIA. They're going to hold it for as long as they can. They're waiting to hear these footsteps. Look at this little crossfire. It is the most intense dodgeball Gen.G will have ever played if they go towards ramp room right now. And luckily enough for them, they've decided, you know what? We are going to go to the polar opposite position. We get down outside. We got the smokes. We got the range. And so they're going to cross with that bomb in tow. They just might have navigated these rather treacherous waters very, very well.
I mean, these nades are still good, because if Gen.G take outside and go down towards B, all these players can come from ramp and throw grenades towards that plant spot. So there's options here for FURIA. Gen.G are on lower right now, so let's see if this actually has any impact, because Gen.G have taken quite a lot of real estate on this B site. They pushed up towards the windows. FURIA holding on to 4 grenades now, waiting for the time to strike. That bomb yet to make its way down. Som's in the double doors right now with it. Molotov cuts FURIA out, but the smoke is favorable. They can throw nades through a smoke with no problem. That's a great kill from Art. Now the grenade's coming in. Som is on the site, but they're too late for it. Art trying to throw his, but he gets caught on the peak, and Som is just slaughtering these Brazilian players here. Nades are gone, and any hope out the window for FURIA. 13 rounds for Gen.G. Queserato just needs to make it so.
The thing that's so impressive about this, and Gen.G still looking so hot here in the first map of this grand final, is you look at their path through this event and you know, the group that they started in. There's no doubt in my mind that they started in the harder group, right? They've got Complexity, MIBR, and ENCE in there. Then in the semi-finals, they go on to play versus North. You know, they really have had a hard time of it throughout this event thus far, and they've gone undefeated. That could be set to continue here and now, at least early on in this grand finals, with them picking this up. This is kind of do or die time for FURIA. If this one slips through their fingers, Gen.G just might run away with it, and they know it. The pressure is on now. 4-on-4, ramp room's taken, and Gen.G, they could just sprint into this B bomb site right now and catch it with only Art here.
I love how committed they are, running through his smoke in the first rifle round just to get down lower. The issue is they've lost 2 men, and Som is going to have to trade. That smoke lets a player get out on top of the site here on B. Vinny is waiting in the wings. That molly cuts off his retreat. He has to hide inside of the smoke, but it will fade eventually, and shots aren't connecting. They've got to be hearing this. Som is waiting for the moment to strike. Once that smoke fades, Daps has done the damage. Som cleans up the kill, and he knows there's another man here in Decon as well. Just commits to the plant, but he will pay the final price for that, going down. No rush for that bomb really needed, but Daps is now alone, 1-on-2, more than doable.
Oh, Daps, so sad. It looked like he was ready for that. Eddie will remove him, so no 1v2 highlight for Daps, at least for that round there. FURIA are going to keep the dream alive as they pick up that 6th, and that's such an important one to pick up, right? If you lose that as FURIA, suddenly that 13-5 scoreline spirals to a 14-5. You've got to take a partial investment. You're giving over map point to your opposition in you know, 9 times out of 10, if that's the decision you have to make. And so if FURIA wanted to turn this around, if they wanted to have a chance still in this map, they needed that one. Now they've got to keep building upon it. We saw with MIBR yesterday, they were struggling to ever chain 2 consecutive rounds together, and that was their undoing. So that cannot be the case here for the other big boy Brazilian team in the grand final.
I've got flashbacks to Art whiffing last map in this position, but luckily enough, he doesn't have a Krieg, so the spray is going to be a little bit easier to control. He doesn't smoke himself off. The molly only just touches him. So this is really, really good. I don't know if Gen.G will expect him in this position after they've double mollied it. Henny falling back. Vinny's been caught outside. Art's thrown a smoke, and that does give up his position. So Gen.G, they want nothing to do with this. They're going to double back and go towards the lobby instead. They've got a pick to their name. They've spread FURIA thin, and now they're going back in towards A.
Obuntet though, is he ready? Is he ready for this? Little menace for Yuri, hidden in this smoke. It dissipates, the Molotov hasn't made noise. Gen.G get out through Squeaky. Oh, Art's gonna get out of the vents, but Yuri is still a question mark, still an unknown entity. So much of this is gonna fall onto his shoulders from the hot push, and he only gets 1 before Daps is in with the trade. Bomb plant will come in here. Gen.G, 4-on-3, bomb planted up at A, FURIA. So often you would see teams maybe give this a look in and then have to make that gut-wrenching call to save. Is that what the Brazilians are going to have to do? Or are they going to attempt this one with the risk of giving over 14?
Doesn't seem to be the case. Art sneaking away. Looked in for a second, but you know, it'd be nice to see K-Serato flash him through heaven, really. MP9 armor, you know, it's kind of do or die, but I understand wanting everything to play with for what could be the last couple of rounds of this map, of your map pick as FURIA. Harry, you talk about Gen.G having a hard time in terms of their group and their matches, but still coming out on top. I think the most exciting part of all of this is every single map that they've played here at DreamHack Open Anaheim, while they've won them all, they've all gone the distance. Every game has either been 16-13 or 16-14, 29 or 30 rounds. Well, this is the first game, at least for now, I don't want to jinx it, but they're winning dominantly, and it looks like it might just go their way in an extremely dominant fashion, unless FURIA can build together a huge comeback. Gen.G just getting better every single matchup.
Yeah, it starts to feel like, you know, you're playing up against like this self-learning AI when you're up against apps, man. You'll face him the first time, you'll take him the full 30. You'll face him the second, you'll only get 29, but you know, it's still all right. And then the time after that, 23-round game, you're done, you're sent home. But let's wait and see. FURIA are trying to turn this one around. The AWP's still in play. Henny was able to hold on to that. SMGs accompany the couple of rifles that they've been able to field here. It is not a good buy for FURIA. Instead, we're going to have to see some big heroics here from these few rifle players that we've got. That's what we're relying on if they want to keep this map going any longer.
It's crazy that FURIA have 11 opening kills in this map so far, and Gen.G only have 9 to their name, yet this scoreline is so one-sided. Constantly coming back from these 4-on-5s. So FURIA know, even though they're getting these opening frags, it means nothing in the long run. The rounds are what matter, and well, they are what is lacking as well. Henny is outside with the AWP. Not going to get flashed out for a peek, just looking to take a dry fight. Smokes are being set up for Gen.G to cross towards Secret.
Oh, tag onto Daps. Not enough to deter Gen.G from outside. He's actually even keen on taking the fight there, is Daps. Smokes are down. That's going to give them safe passage into Secret. Henny is none the wiser. The rest of Gen.G, well, they're over here at ramp. They're looking to split into this B bomb site. Henny's read this well, though. If you look on the minimap, he's left that outside position. He was down towards Hell. He's joined up with K-Serato here at the ramp room. So they've got a bit of a crossfire set up. They've got this ability to trade off of one another. They actually go ahead and break that down now, concede the ramp room. And for Gen.G, this is exactly what they wanted. 15 seconds, though. Time is going to be the enemy of Gen.G. Are they going to clear Art? He could win this round here and now. Oh, no. They haven't checked him. 8 seconds. The bomb is dropped. Surely there's no time. And Gen.G, they might have made a bit of a mistake on this one. They've misjudged it as they get shut down. Automatic. He's even running the risk of going down after time. And he will. So FURIA, a 7th. Double AWP carried forward. And sending your opponent's economy down into the doldrums.
He at least makes it expensive, right? Couple of kills right before that round closes. But yeah, I mean, FURIA do such a good job of avoiding the battles, of avoiding the gunfights for so long. They let Gen.G take that B control. They let them take ramp and both outside. And they wait till, you know, Gen.G have to get a bomb down in the last 20 seconds. That's when they start to pounce. Art coming up with a crucial kill, dropping that bomb on the site. And 14-7, the start for FURIA. Will Gen.G put it to a bittersweet end, though? Like you said, double AWP. Art's here again with the AWP. Waiting for Gen.G to make their move. They're coming.
Oh, misflick there from Art. Not fast enough. Outside control getting taken. There's no smokes with it. This is ballsy. They're running up against double AWP and they just sprint across outside. Luckily enough for them, no one from FURIA is here keeping an eye on this. At least no one with the scoped rifles. K-Serato's kind of like a little bit curious as to what's outside. It's a standoff. Oh, that's not ready for Yuri to just be a couple of inches too short there, crouching down beneath the bullets. K-Serato, his turn to step up. Only good for one, though, as the trade comes in. Gen.G still with this outside presence, and I think the real mystery man right now is Kusta. He comes in, he wrapped all the way through CT, so K-Serato never even saw him. With that kill coming in, FURIA are going to start to expect that there could be this heaven wrap, right? But Kusta has come in very, very fast and very, very quietly into this position. But I'm having flashbacks to last round. Time's running out once again, and it could be everything. Gen.G, they get the kills, but it's a 1v2, and that bomb is dropped. Kusta's got to pick up the pace. He's got to try and get it planted. 10 seconds, taps in the numbers now. Running in through the hut, shot missed on the AWP. Kusta gets the first, and oh, he's going to get all 4 at the end. Match point for Gen.G, 15-7, and Kusta gets them there. Oh, what a clutch. You could feel that one building up.
He throws the god tier smoke as well. He bounces a smoke off the vent. It goes above him and 180s perfectly on the site. I'd love to know if that was purpose, because it doesn't get much better than that. That single-handedly saves him in the bomb plant, and FURIA must be crumbling after that clutch. 4 kills from Kusta, a 1-on-2 to find map point, and on FURIA's map pick no less. Nuke might just be coming to a close. FURIA, 3rd tactical timeout in this map so far. It's coming through. Gen.G have not even felt pressured. And this, wow, this is something to behold. Money gone. A scout on Henny, pistols, an M4, and Gen.G armed to the teeth, looking to close it out.
Dabs doesn't even have a gun. He doesn't even have armor. He's dropped over to the rest of the team. This is an odd one from him, but he's looking to make a bit of a statement. Kill comes in from automatic. Man advantage taken. Gen.G, 4 kills is all that separates them from taking this first map in the grand final and moving 1-0 up. FURIA, can they muster a defense here? Henny's got to sit back and watch as his 4 teammates from beyond the grave try and salvage this round.
Gen.G are all over the place right now. They have all the control. Outside, again, this heaven wrap, the one in the last round, and FURIA have misread it. They put numbers down on that lower site. They are boosting to watch for that heaven position, but they're going to be late to the party. Gen.G might be inside of A before FURIA's rotations have even realized. Art is trying to come in, but he's going to be too late. That's Gen.G up and above the top site, and it's about to all come through.
Yeah, first kill, second kill. They needed 4, and they've got 3 of them. There it is. And this map comes to a close. Gen.G, they're going to take it, and they'll take it dominantly at that. They put themselves in a great spot now in this grand final, and a chance to continue their undefeated streak as well here at DreamHack Open Anaheim.
Yeah, not just undefeated, but 29 and 30 round matches across this entire tournament for them. Well, that was their first dominant victory, and in the grand final, no less, against a FURIA that has been looking on fire so far this tournament. So you've got to give it out to Gen.G. They have really shown up today. The question is, can they continue? Can they do it on Inferno as well? That's the next map coming up for them. It's one that Sean on the desk doesn't rep FURIA on, and one that we've already seen Gen.G have success on this tournament as well. So everything is pointing in the way of the North Americans. Can they do it, Harry?
I mean, there's a stage is set, right, for Gen.G to continue this upwards trajectory and to come to this event, their first LAN with this squad, and dominate in this fashion. You know, and I'm really hoping that they can. Buntet, I feel like we haven't even really had to even see him step up in the capacity that he was back in the Asian region, right? So I think that you've still got even more to give if you're Gen.G, and I think heading into this second map, that's where things get interesting, right? FURIA, they've got to try and bounce back. Gen.G, they're looking to take it undefeated. Can they, or will it be a FURIA redemption story? Join us after a quick break to find out.